Okay then.
सर ये
Last class I did.
सर आपका वो सर रीसेट और ट्रैप का कुछ बताए थे एक बार, वो एक बार बताइएगा सर।
रीसेट और ट्रैप।
हाँ सर, कि रीसेट करने से ट्रैप नहीं
ट्रैप
होता
के
है।
ट्रैप के बारे में हम डिटेल्स आगे पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है। जब हम इंटरप्ट डिस्कस करेंगे यूनिट 2 में, तो डिस्कस करेंगे मोर अबाउट द डिटेल्स। बाकी जनरल ये समझ लो कि दो टाइप्स के इंटरप्ट होते हैं, एक होता है मास्केबल, दूसरा होता है नॉन मास्केबल। इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि एक तो वैसा इंटरप्ट होगा जिसको हम डिस्टर्ब कर सकते हैं, इनेबल कर सकते हैं, डिएबल कर सकते हैं, जब हम चाहे उसको प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। लेकिन एक ऐसा भी होगा जो कि तुम्हारे कंट्रोल के बाहर होगा, ठीक है। दैट इज कॉल्ड नॉन मास्केबल इंटरप्ट। तो ट्रैप भी जो है वो नॉन मास्केबल इंटरप्ट के कैटेगरी में आता है। इसमें होता क्या है कि अगर मान लो कि सिस्टम में कोई भी फेल्योर आता है, ठीक है, सिस्टम में कोई भी फेल्योर होने के बाद वो इंटरप्ट क्या करेगा, अपने आप एग्जीक्यूट होगा और अपने आप सिस्टम को रिबूट करता है। 90% प्रॉब्लम्स आर सॉल्व्ड बाय रीस्टार्टिंग द सिस्टम, okay, if any software problems are there. So in that case we will use the trap interrupts. So you don't worry about that. So system will automatically take that interrupt and it will restart the or reboot the systems, so that if any software malfunctions are there, then you can remove it down. Okay. Next, reset is there. Reset, there are two types of reset. Either you want to reset the microprocessor or you want to reset the components which is attached to the processor. Okay, so if you want to reset the processor, you have to use reset in pins. If you want to use reset some another components which is attached to the processor, then you have to use reset out. Reset out means the processor will reset that system, that particular systems, okay, yeah, that particular components. Reset in, it means that you are going to reset the processor itself. So every systems you can see the reset buttons are there. Okay, so with the help of reset, you can restart the systems. When you are restarting the systems, what will happen? When you are restarting the system will initialize from the bottom end. It means that you can say that if you have written any specific task or any specific instructions, then it will start always from 000. In the case of 8085, what will happen? When you are resetting the systems, when it will reset, the consecutive 3 clock cycles it will require. So you have to press it and hold for some seconds. Then you can get, when it will reach 3 clock cycles, what will happen? The system will automatically restart. When the system will automatically restart, it means that the program counter's value will be, okay, program counter value will be always 000. It means that the processor will start executing the instructions from this location. So this is the meaning of reset in. Okay. So further we can proceed that we can see that this is up to pin number 28 I already discussed. Okay. So the pin number 12 to 20, this is the pin number 12 to 20, this is the address and data bus. You are using this bus as a address or as a data. So both way you can use it. So which pin will be controlled by this pin? Let us consider one pin is there, ALE. You can say in the rectangular box it is ALE pin number 30. This is called address latch enable. Okay, it means that it will separate the address bus and data bus. So whenever you want to use this AD0 to AD7 as a address or as a data, it will depends upon the ALE signals. So when ALE equal to 1, it means that bus functions as a address bus. Whatever you are providing to AD0 to AD7, that will behave as an address. When the ALE equal to 0, it means that whatever available in this bus, that is called data. So you have to differentiate it when it is data and when it is address. So whenever address is there, you have to put AL equal to 1. If it is data, so you have to put AL equal to 0. So this will depend upon the ALE signals. So the next pin is S0 and S1. Both are output pins. Okay. So S1, S0 or S1 is called status pins or status signals. So what is the meaning of status? All of you know that status. What is the meaning of status? Anyone?
The current condition.
Current conditions. Okay. So it means that always you are using WhatsApp status, Facebook status. It means that it is showing that what are you doing in currently. Okay. The same way processor is also using the status lines, status signals, status pins. Okay. That is S0 and S1. Now, so they tell the current operations which is in progress in 8085. Now you have to do is the processor, what processor is doing. Let us consider someone is coming and telling that, oh, what are you doing? So in this way, the processor knows that how the processor understand which type of operation is going on. Okay. So for this purpose, we are using the S0 and S1 signals. So for the combinations of, there are 4 possibilities, either 00, 01 or 10, 11. Okay. So there are 4 different conditions. When S0 and S1 equal to 0, it is called halt. It means that the processor will not doing any operation. Okay. So if you want to do, you can give some task to the processor. Now, if it is S0 and S1 equal to 01, it means that it will the write. At that time, the processor writing something into the memory or into the input-output devices. Now you can see that there are 2 things. Processor always will read and write. Okay, where it will read and where it will write. The processor will read from memory or from input devices. Okay, the processor will write to the memory or to the output devices. So whenever we are talking about the writing, it means that we are talking about the output devices or memory. Whenever I am talking about read, it means that it will read either from memory or from input device. Okay. So when it is 10, it means it is called read operation. Now when it is 11, it is called opcode fetch operation. Okay. So now we have to understand then what is the opcode fetch operation. Let us consider, see, 2 types of things are there. I am writing one assembly instructions MBI A, 30H. Okay, this is the instructions. Any instructions have both opcode and operand. Okay, any instructions having both opcode and operand. Now you are telling, you have to understand that what is opcode and what is operand. Okay, so see that whenever there's MBI A, 30H if I am writing, it means that MBIA is called opcode and 30H is called operand. Operand. So basically, what is the meaning of opcode? Opcode is just type of instructions. Okay, instructions tells to the processor what type of task you have to perform. Let us consider I am writing MBI A, 38. it's meaning that this 30H will be copied in accumulator register. So after executing these instructions, the A value will be 30H. Okay. So now who is going to tell that you have to copy this 30H to the accumulator register? So this instructions is going to tell that you have to copy this value into this register. So in this case, this MBI, A is called opcode, and this 38 is called operand. Operand means what type of data it is. Now, whenever the data is there, then you can say operand is present, otherwise operand is absent. Now, like if I am writing move A comma B. Okay, what is the meaning of this instruction is move A comma B. The data of B is copied in data register A. Okay, the B register is copied in A register. It means that A equal to B. Let us B equal to 05H is there, then the A is also copying 05H. Okay, so in this way we are telling that now in these instructions there is a no opcode, no operand, there is no data entry. Okay, so this is only opcode is there. Okay, so whenever instructions is there, either it is opcode is there, yeah, opcode plus operand both will be present. If opcode is there, it means that whenever the opcode fetch cycle will going on, that opcode will execute at that time. Okay, so this is the meaning. So always you remember that opcode and operand. Rest, whenever I am talking about the instruction set, then I will tell you different types of instructions, how these instructions are having the opcode and operand. Okay. Now there are two cases. Next is pin number 34, that is input output M bar. Input output M bar, and this is the input output M bar signals, pin number 34. This is also an output signals. Okay. Now there are two cases. You know that either processor will read or write. Okay. Where it will read or where it will write. Either it will read from memory or write to memory. Okay. Either it is either processor will read from input device or write to the output device. Okay. So the problem is how can we define that when it will read? Either it will read from the memory or it will read from the input devices. So the input output M bar signal is responsible for controlling that either it is using memory or either it is using that input output devices. So now when input output slash M bar equal to 1, it means that input output operation is being performed. So let us consider input output M bar equal to 1 and processor is doing some task. So processor is doing some task, it means that it will do either read operation or write operation with input output operation, means with input output devices. If it is writing, then it is using output devices. When it is reading, it will read from the input devices. Same way, if input output M bar equal to 0, it means that it is using memory either for reading or for writing. Okay. So this pin is responsible for either input output devices reading or writing, or memory is reading or writing. So in this way we can differentiate the operations from either input output devices or memory. So now you can see that this is the table showing that all of you know that what is the S0 and S1 value. Okay, just now I told that what is the different value of S0 and S1? It is, now I am including this S0 and S1 with input output M bar signals. Okay, so now you can see that whenever it is 0 0, I already told that it is in halt position. So what is the meaning of halt position? He will not giving any output. Halt is what? It is in rest position. So at that time it will not give the output. So we will call the high impedance value. So high impedance value, it means what? The current flowing through the path is very less. Okay. Now, when we are taking about when S0 and S1 value is 1 1, then what I have told that it is output fetch. Now you can see that whenever output will fetch, this input output M bar will be 0. Why? Since any instructions written in the memory. So when you are writing the instructions in the memory, it means that you are writing the output in memory. Okay. So whenever the output fetch will come, always you can use the memory, not from input output devices. Since input output devices is used for the taking the signals and giving the signals. You are not capable to write the programs in the input output devices. Okay. So in the output fetch cases, always memory are there. With the help of memory, you are writing the instructions. So there are so many instructions you are writing. After writing the instructions, at the time when you are executing the programs, what will happen? Every instructions, in every instructions, the first is opcode is fetching. The first step is opcode is fetched. Okay, so opcode is fetched in always what? Memory. So always this value will be 0. Now there are two operations, either read or write, So one is for input output devices, one is for memory. So what will happen? When I am talking about the reading, it means that we are talking S0 1 equal to 1 and S1 equal to 0. Here in the same case, in the reading, it is 1 0. So with it 1 0 1 0, it means that you are reading. So now you have to specify that if you want to read from memory, what will happen? You have to put input output M equal to 0. If you want to read from input output devices, then you have to write 1. Okay, so this is a simple thing. Same thing we will use for the writing. In the case of 0 1, it means that processor will going to write that value wherever you want to write. Either you write to the memory or you write to the input output devices. When you are using the input output devices, you write 1. When you are using memory, then you write 0. So in this way, with the help of status signals and with the help of status signal S0 and S1 and input output M bar pins, you can define that the processor is doing any certain task or performing any task from where it will perform. Either it is performing with memory, either it is performing from input output devices, either it is writing, either it is reading. So these operations are always doing by the processor. So you have to understand that the processor knows that what's going on inside it. So the next pin is 31, pin number 31. This is the output pin. This is the WR bar. WR stands for write, okay, and also it is an active low signals. So active low signals means when you will provide 0, it means WR equal to 0, then it means it will write. When it is 1, it means that it will not write. So it is a control signal used for write operation either into memory or into input output devices. So if you want to write, you can use the WR bar pin, but it is active low signal. So you have to put the value 0. If you are putting the 0 value, then you are able to write. If you are putting 1, it means that you are not able to write. So whenever you need for writing, you can just put WR bar equal to 0. Same way, in the case of read bar, this is also output pins. Now RD stands for read, it is an active low signal. Now it is a control signal used for read operation either from memory or from input devices. So read and write, read bar is used for reading, WR bar is used for writing. Now in the case of read bar, it is also same thing. Whenever it is 0, it means that it is reading, and whenever it is 1, it means that it is not reading. Okay, so in this way these two pins will be used. Now come to the pin number 35, that is input pins, that is called ready pins. Okay, so this pin is used to synchronize slower peripheral devices with fast microprocessor. Now what will happen? You can see the situations. Let us consider my processor is there, that is having 5 MHz clock frequency. Okay, I have interfaced some input devices. For that it is 2 MHz. Okay, any sensor is there, processor is having 5 MHz, 5 MHz. Any sensor are there, that sensor is there, that is of 2 MHz. Okay, so whenever the sensor takes data, what will happen? This is the 2 MHz, this is the 5 MHz. Okay, so the execution of the processor is fast rather than sensor. So let us consider sensor will take the input, okay, and it is 2 MHz. So he has to wait, the processor has to wait when the input data is coming. Okay, एक 5 मेगाहर्ट्ज का है प्रोसेसर, अगर सेंसर 2 मेगाहर्ट्ज की है तो होगा क्या, सेंसर वैल्यू लेके रखेगा, लेकिन सेंसर वैल्यू लेगा 2 मेगाहर्ट्ज पे। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि प्रोसेसर जल्दी से एग्जीक्यूशन कर लेगा और सेंसर इनपुट के लिए वेट करेगा। ठीक है, तो ये दोनों वेट ना करे, इसको सिंक्रोनाइज करने के लिए हम रेडी सिग्नल्स यूज करते हैं। जैसे मान लो कि इनपुट डेटा सेंसर के पास आया, सेंसर ने एक्टिवेट किया कि मेरे पास डेटा है, आई एम रेडी टू गिव, देन at that time the processor will not wait, processor will execute with taking the input value of the sensor. Okay, so this will synchronize the slow peripheral devices with processors. Now a low value causes the processor to enter into wait states. Whenever read equal to 0, it means that processor is waiting for taking the input data from the other peripherals. The microprocessor remains in wait state until the input at this pin goes high. Whenever the data reaches to the processor, at that time the ready signal will be high. It means 1. So whenever ready equal to 0, it means that processor is waiting for the input data from other peripheral devices. Now whenever ready will high, it means that the processor will get the data and it will process the data. Okay, so this is the use of ready signals. Now there are two things, one is called hold and another is called HLDA. Okay, so hold signals, hold represents that, what is the meaning of hold? You have to keep as it is. Now the hold pin is used to request the processor for DMA transfer. So first you have to understand that what is DMA transfer. Okay, so what is DMA transfer? DMA is called direct memory access. Now I will give you one examples. Let us consider in a laptop there are two pen drives, pen drive 1 pen drive 1 and pen drive 2. I want to copy the data from pen drive 1 to pen drive 2. In between systems are there. Systems are there. What is the possible way how it will copy? Can anyone tell? The question is, there are two pen drives attached with the system. I want to copy the data from pen drive 1 to pen drive 2. What will do?
डायरेक्ट पेन ड्राइव से पेन ड्राइव करेंगे तो बहुत धीरे होगा,
Why?
क्योंकि सर देखें बस वाई का तो नहीं पता
सर वो तो यूएसबी
पता
पोर्ट पे
करना है।
डिपेंड करता है। यूएसबी
USB?
3.0 में जो भी पेन ड्राइव लगी हुई है उसकी स्पीड ज़्यादा होगी यूएसबी 2.0 से।
Let us consider both the ports are 3.0. I have attached both the port 1 pen drive 1 and pen drive 2, both port having 3.0. Then
सर अगर एक पेन ड्राइव से सर लैपटॉप में मूव किए फिर उसके बाद दूसरे में किए तब जल्दी हो जाएगा सर।
ऐसा क्यों होता है? That's the question.
सर बहुत डाटा को सर प्रोसेसिंग टाइम से डिस्टेंस से ट्रैवल करना पड़ता है।
Okay, let us see. One is called DMA. DMA is called direct memory access. ठीक है? डायरेक्ट मेमोरी एक्सेस करता क्या? जैसे मान लो कि हम पेन ड्राइव 1 से पेन ड्राइव 2 में डेटा कॉपी कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, मैंने तो कॉपी कर दिया, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन डेटा कहाँ जा रहा है? पहले पेन ड्राइव 1 से सिस्टम में कॉपी हो रहा है, उसके बाद सिस्टम से पेन ड्राइव 2 में जा रहा है, लेकिन डायरेक्ट नहीं जा रहा, ठीक है, इसीलिए प्रोसेस स्लो होती है, क्योंकि तुमने क्या किया, बीच वाली स्टेप गायब कर दिया, अब उसको तुमने डायरेक्ट दे दिया, तो जब डायरेक्ट दे दिया तो हुआ क्या, ये पाथ खोजने में टाइम लगाता है कि ये कहाँ पे स्टोर हम करेंगे। एनी हाउ सीपीयू क्या करेगा, सीपीयू क्या करेगा, डेटा पहले यहां से लेके यहां तक आएगा अपने पास, उसके बाद क्या करेगा, दूसरे पेन ड्राइव को सेंड करेगा, ठीक है, लेकिन कोई एक ऐसा मैकेनिज्म हम यूज कर लें जो कि सीपीयू का यूज ना करके विदाउट यूजिंग सीपीयू कोई भी एक ऐसा सिस्टम हो जो डायरेक्ट 1 से डेटा उठाए और 2 में डाल दे, ठीक है, दैट इज कॉल्ड डीएमए। Whenever your system is having DMA, it means that you can directly copy from pen drive 1 to pen drive 2 without disturbing the CPU. Okay? Without disturbing the CPU. इससे फायदा क्या है?
ये डीएमए सिस्टम ही
इससे
होती
फायदा
है।
ये है
ये डीएमए जो है वो सिस्टम ही होती है क्या?
डीएमए?
यस सर।
सर ऐसा क्यों होता है सर, जब हम
डीएमए सिस्टम नहीं है, देखो डीएमए पार्ट ऑफ ए कंप्यूटर, जैसे मान लो एडीसी है, ठीक है, डीएसी है, उसी तरीके से डीएमए है, तो डीएमए को हम क्या करते हैं, प्रोसेसर से इंटरफेस कर देते हैं। होता क्या है, देखो प्रोसेस क्या होता है, जैसे ही मान लो कि हमें ऐसे ट्रांसफर करने की रिक्वायरमेंट पड़ती है, तो होता क्या है कि जैसे मान लो कि मैंने 1 से 2 में तो ट्रांसफर करना चाह रहा हूँ, ठीक है, तो अगर कंप्यूटर करेगा तो करेगा क्या, कंप्यूटर मान लो कि यहां से डेटा डायरेक्ट कैसे उठा के रखेगा, अगर सीपीयू ये काम करेगा तो क्या करेगा, सीपीयू क्या करेगा, 1 से पहले डेटा लेके आएगा अपने पास, पहले ही वहां रीड करेगा, उसके बाद जाकर 2 में राइट करेगा, ठीक है, तो ये बिटवीन जो स्टेप्स है उससे टाइम ज्यादा लगता है। दूसरी बात क्या है कि डीएमए क्या है कि डीएमए एक इंटरफेसिंग कंपोनेंट्स है, उसको हम क्या करेंगे, मान लो कि यहाँ पे डीएमए है, तो अगर डीएमए सिर्फ चाहता क्या है कि डीएमए का काम क्या है कि यहाँ से डेटा उठा के यहाँ करना, एक्चुअली डीएमए करता क्या है, इट ट्रांसफर्स द डेटा फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर प्लेस, जैसे एडीसी का काम क्या है, एनालॉग सिग्नल्स को डिजिटल में कन्वर्ट करना, सेम तरीके से डीएमए एक डिवाइस है, वो करता क्या है, ट्रांसफर करता है डेटा। अगर डीएमए ट्रांसफर करता है तो सीपीयू का यूज नहीं करता है, मतलब क्या हुआ, एट दैट टाइम सीपीयू विल डू एनीथिंग, ठीक है, उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है। इसीलिए होता क्या है कि जब हम सिस्टम से कॉपी करते हैं डायरेक्ट तो क्या होता है, वो स्लो हो जाता है। स्लो होने का रीजन यही है, यू आर मिसिंग वन स्टेप। ठीक है, तो वो अपना काम करता रहेगा, तुम अपना सीपीयू को अदर टास्क देके काम करा सकते हो कुछ भी। ठीक है, तो होता क्या है जब हम डीएमए को, तो डीएमए हम एक्टिवेट करते हैं। ऐसा नहीं, डीएमए अगर मान लो लगा हुआ है तो जब तक सीपीयू अलाउ नहीं करेगा कि डीएमए तुम डेटा ट्रांसफर करो, तब तक वो नहीं कर सकता। तो उसके लिए क्या करता है कि होल्ड और एचएलडीए सिग्नल यूज करते हैं। तो होल्ड सिग्नल होता क्या है कि होल्ड क्या करता है कि डीएमए प्रोसेसर को रिक्वेस्ट करता है कि आई वांट टू ट्रांसफर द डेटा। whenever the request will be accepted by the processor, then hold acknowledgement signal will be generated। जैसे मान लो मैंने किया प्रोसेसर को कि डेटा हमें ट्रांसफर करनी है पेन ड्राइव 1 से पेन ड्राइव 2 के पास, तो एट दैट टाइम सीपीयू क्या करेगा, सीपीयू डीएमए को ग्रांट करेगा कि ओ यू कैन डू दैट। जब वो कैन डू दैट तो होगा क्या, सीपीयू एट दैट टाइम कोई भी डेटा बस और एड्रेस बस का यूज नहीं करेगा। अगर सीपीयू एड्रेस बस और डेटा बस का यूज नहीं करेगा, दैट एड्रेस बस एंड डेटा बस विल बी यूज्ड बाय द डीएमए, क्योंकि एट दैट टाइम डीएमए काम कर रहा है। जैसे मान लो कि मैंने एचओडी से बोला, ठीक है, कि हमें क्लास अभी लेनी है, ठीक है, तो मैंने पहले उनको इन्फॉर्म किया कि हाँ ये क्लास मुझे लेनी है, मुझे लेना है। तो एट दैट टाइम क्या करेगा, जब तक वो डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेगा, जब तक मेरे पास टाइम कंप्लीट नहीं हो जाता है। तो सेम तरीके से यही है, डीएमए क्या करता है, एक बार रिक्वेस्ट लेने के बाद डीएमए डाटा ट्रांसफर करता रहता है। जैसे ही डाटा ट्रांसफर खत्म होता है, ठीक है, डेटा खत्म हो जाता है कॉपी करने के लिए, तब क्या करता है कि वापस प्रोसेसर को इन्फॉर्म करता है कि माई वर्क इज ओवर, नाउ यू कैन यूज योर डेटा बस एंड एड्रेस बस। ओके, सो इस तरीके से क्या करता है कि डीएमए यूज करता है, डीएमए यूज करते हैं डेटा ट्रांसफर के लिए। तो इससे फायदा क्या होता है कि एट दैट टाइम सीपीयू क्या करता है, सीपीयू कोई काम नहीं करता है। तो सीपीयू अगर काम नहीं करेगा तो सीपीयू रेस्ट मोड में है। अगर सीपीयू रेस्ट मोड में, इट मींस दैट यू आर द पावर कंजप्शन इज वेरी लो। ठीक है, क्योंकि मैक्सिमम जो होता है वो मेरा सीपीयू ही पावर कंजप्ट ज्यादा करता है। ठीक है, सो व्हेनेवर वी आर गोइंग टू द सिस्टम्स, वी आर ऑलवेज ट्राइंग टू डू दैट, to design any system at low cost and low power consumptions। so इस तरीके से हम क्या करते हैं कि डीएमए का काम क्या है, डीएमए का काम ये है। ठीक है, नाउ क्या है, इंटेल 8257 एंड 8237 आर 2 डीएमए कंट्रोलर्स। ये 2 डीएमए कंट्रोलर्स है जो जनरली हम 8085 के साथ यूज करते हैं, ठीक है, इंटरफेस करके। नाउ क्या है, एचएलडीए सिग्नल्स, it stands for the hold acknowledgement। The microprocessor uses this pin to acknowledge the receipt of hold signals। When HLDA signal goes high, address bus, data bus, RD, WR input output pins are tri-stated। Now you can see, जैसे ही प्रोसेसर क्या करता है कि अलाउ करता है कि हाँ यू कैन ट्रांसफर द डेटा बाय द डीएमए, एट दैट टाइम द एड्रेस बस, डेटा बस, read signals, write signals, input output MR pins are in tri-state। Tri-state means what? It neither 0 and nor 1। It means you can also say that it is a high impedance। Okay, so at that time he will not give any output। It means they are cut off from the external environment। So at that time क्या करेगा, जब तक ट्रांसफर करेगा तब तक इतने जो पिन्स है हमारा वो यूज नहीं करेगा किसी भी हालत में, क्योंकि दीज पिन्स आर यूज्ड ऑलवेज बाय द सीपीयू, और हम सीपीयू को क्या करते हैं, होल्ड कर देते हैं। So now next is VSS and VCC is there signals। 8085 is working on +5 volt and it is a one ground signals VSS। Okay, so in this way we'll cover the whole pins, 40 pins। If you have any doubt you can tell। If you have any doubt, you can tell. Now I will send the PPT up to the pin and signals. Today I will post in this. You can check out and you can read it. Okay. So you have any doubt? If you have any doubt, then